everybody? I'm back. Another comic review. I figure horror comic, let's go the route of like the horror host. Let's wear this, my nice leather and skull hat. So when I wear the hat, from now on, that means we're going to do horror. And we're going to do horror right off the bat. I've got the sleeve off already. But this is the Vampirella Archives Volume 2. We've already done Volume 1. This is Volume 2. For those of you that didn't watch Volume 1, go back and watch it. Vampirella. What set her apart? And I'll state this during the overview. You had Tales from the Crypt back in the day. You know, that had the old witch, the Crypt Keeper, somebody else. I can't remember. It's been a minute since I've read those. You know, you had Uncle Creepy. Was it Cousin Eerie? I don't remember Eerie's name. Anyway, all these horror magazines had a mascot. And the mascot's job was just like the old Tales from the Crypt show. Hey, welcome boys and girls, and it's the story of sex with the vampire. Well, Vampirella, I was going to say Draculina, that's her sister. Vampirella is that. She's the horror hostess. But as she got popular, which was basically after the first issue, they wanted to make her a focal point. So she is the one that is going to be the star of some of these stories. This one in particular that we're going to look at, the stories are going to start off with a Vampirella story. Now, she'll still be your hostess for the other horror stories, but in the beginning, she's going to be featured in her own. She's got vampire hunters after her, and the story has continuity. Every episode, or every magazine, it continued. It was a self-contained story that would kind of wrap the main thing, but much like a TV show nowadays, there's a reaching thing. You know, there's the big bad, but the story still continues. Let's not waste any more time. We covered her origin. Vampire from the planet Draculon. On her planet, blood is water. Space shuttle from Earth crashes. She drains the people. She's like, oh my God, there's water in their veins. I'm going to this planet. And you know, now she's got vampire hunters after her, as you're going to see. Let's crack this open and take a look. Okay, here we go. Vampirella Archives Volume 2. And this one collects Vampirella magazine 8 to 14, which is something I stated right in the beginning. This one is pretty much known for Archie Goodwin and Jose Gonzalez begin their run on the book in this one. So Vampirella starts to become kind of the lead character. Not in every story just yet, but she starts to be a little bit more. And we'll go ahead and take the slip cover off. Much like the first volume, little gold seal of Vampy. The inside, of course, shows you the comics that you're going to print. That's the same quote on the back from James Cameron, which I still don't get, nor do I get why they just didn't use a different quote. But let's open it up. Hopefully I get it centered good here. Yeah, let's take a look at it. So here we go with Vampy 8. Illustrated tales to bewitch and bedevil you. Vampirella sacrificed with the unholy seven in a fantastic 21-page story. Beautiful art. I can't get over the artwork in these old books. Here's all the letters. Now, you know, she's getting more traction, so more and more people are starting to write to her. Here's an ad for the crawling hand. If you turn it on, the hand crawls. And the first story, of course, is going to be Vampirella. You know, it gives you the... she's now on Earth. And, you know, we get a little recap of her story. You know, during her dream, she's in the Black Nebula. She comes from her planet where, once again, water is blood on her planet. This is a good story. Like I said, she eventually becomes the focal point, which is very different because all the other Warren books, like Creepy and Eerie, they never had, like, Uncle Creepy and shit like that. They were never becoming, you know, the stars of the story. Whereas Vampirella... She's against the evil cult here in this story, which is very good. And you can see, like I said, I really love the artwork in these old books. I can't draw a stick figure, but you know, Vampirella, the hunt begins. See, now I'm going to tell you in here, they know the alieness is a total apprentice from humanity. She is the one. And now the hunt will begin. So she's got a hunter on her. Which now we go back to just a simple, you know, and this one's very beautiful sketched. Here I said hers kind of straight, went a little different from standard horror as they kind of varied. But there was like an old school sword and sorcery type story. Here we've got the Into the Mist. And this is, you know, your standard maniac on the loose. It's a werewolf. Well, it's sort of a werewolf. They're a little shorter, too, if you notice. This is Snake Eyes. And, you know, the snake girl that they're talking about is eating things because they're snake people. Yeah, it's a little odd. Not that it's bad, it's odd. There's Vampy's Flames. I like how they went to the way to reprint everything, like the letters, the coupons, the ads, you know, the gallery. There's a little prologue from the magazine. You know, the guy's, he's selling his magazines, and here we go. Vampirella. Once again, she goes back to the host. And this is a story here, another a haunted house and mindless zombie biker story with sorcerers and all kinds of crazy stuff. Vampirella again here is going to host this particular story. This one's done in a sketch art. This is another real good one. You know, there's the family, and the collar is turning things evil. And then when we get off to that, here's, if you're a Dark Shadows fan, here's the paperback. You can buy them. Well, you can mail your money now, but you're not going to get anything. It's long gone. Easy ways for a tough surfboard. You know, smoking doesn't pay. Why risk your health for cigarettes? Then we're going to go to issue 9. We dare you to read The Shocker, the Boy Who Loved Trees. The Curse, a masterpiece by Mollis Wood. Come, I have been waiting for you. A little Vampirella fairy tale like we always have. We're going to start out, as always, with the Scarlet Letter. Little ads here if you want to buy anything. Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was a great movie. Vampirella. Now we're cooking back to the Vampy story. If you remember, like I said, there's continuity. So now we have right here, there's the hunters. They're on the way to find her and kill her. Because, I mean, that's what you do. So now we're going to go into our one story. Like I said, she was the first one of these people to start actually getting her stories. You know, there's our Vampirella story. Just a typical horror story. It just leaves Vampirella as the star, which I like. I like the art. I like the way they dressed her. Drew her, I should say. Now we go to Monster Bait. This is an old school story, like in the times of fucking dinosaurs and shit. I skip a little bit. You can see these stories are a little quicker than they were in the first one. Fate's cold finger. You know, this guy's trying to hang himself. And, you know, in a horror books, if you try to hang yourself, things just, they're not going to go right. I mean, are they going to go right if you actually did hang yourself? I mean, I don't know. Another story about a curse. This one is, like I said, she was known for having a lot of, I don't want to say mythology, but she had, you know, like I explained before, she has sword and sorcery tales, outer space tales. You know, these old ones. Like here's a story about Jack the Ripper. You know, she kind of went all over the board. It wasn't just your standard haunted house or modern day world. It went anywhere from BC to AD. You know, it was just crazy. Here is the boy who loved trees. That's because there's a tree fairy. Tree fairies don't always turn out to be the greatest thing either, but you never know. These tree people, don't mess with them. You can see Vampy's Vindication. Some more letters. This is the work orders for the DA. This is another story here. Kind of more of an outer space meets chain gang, which is pretty good. And then we're going to go to Vampirella number 10. These covers are just so beautiful. Don't miss the soft, sweet lips of hell. That is a great picture of Medusa. All the art's good. And as usual, we're going to go into the letters. Hope I've got this in folk. Now, going to do a story here about the marriage. You know, things don't ever go right if you're married in old school horror books either. And sure doesn't for this poor dude. The Eye of Newt, Toe of Frog. Another lustful tale of sorcery. More say like witchcraft and shit. The soft, sweet lips of hell. We got to keep going with it. You know, it spans time. As I'm flipping a little quicker, I don't want everybody to be, God, this guy's showing me the whole book. Although it is a very good book. Here's the War of the Wizards. You know, another one. Like I stress, her stuff takes place in different times. They try to get a good mixture of everything for Vampy. Thing of Beauty, more of a disco style. The artwork in this is just great, and the guy's like really disfigured, but you know he's rich, so people are gonna they're going to go for him because he's rich. But don't worry, he gets his revenge. Results of the first Miss Vampire contest. Yes, there was a first Miss Vampire contest. Here's all the pictures of our lovely winners. 1993. Here now we're going to the Regeneration Gap. It's a horror story, horror science fiction story. The Devil's Daughter. Uh-oh, did we miss some stuff? A little bit of, yeah, we did. You can get Iron-On Monsters. You can get a 10-foot balloon. And you can also go right to the Green Plague in Vampirella number 11. Featuring, of course, the letters. Here's an ad. You can get the Blob. Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein, which is, like, to me, one of the greatest movies ever made. And now we're going to go back to Vampirilla's story. See, she's... And the prologue's always going to tell you, you know what's going on. She's got the hunters on her case. But she can get away. And she's going to head on off to the Carnival of the Damned. But they're going to track her down. You know, it's basically her Van Helsing. He's there with Adam. But like I said, it's good because we're also going... She's becoming the star of the books. If you notice... Now we're going to do, she's, you know, her story's done. And her story's always, it doesn't exactly have an end. Like, the story is borderline self-contained, but then it switches right into, uh-oh, we got to see what happens next month. Another one of the outer space horror stories here. Here we go to The Prisoner in the Pool. There's a little bit of, you know, they kind of cover up, you know, hair can cover up boobs really good, as you can see. That's how they kind of got away with that. I like these sketch art stories. I think they're all really good. 70s, you know, because we're taking place, you know, here's the Green Plague. Just beautiful. I mean, this is another one that spans generations, I guess you would say. Vampy's Flames, The Deep, you know, little story there you get. Previews, you know, talking about the elevator. You know, we'd like to print your story. You can write a story and put it in. The Dragon Woman. This one's taking place during the war. Another good. Like I said, the artwork is, I keep stressing it, this artwork is just second to none. Now we're going to go, one of the more famous covers is Vampy number 12. Is this the end of Vampirella? With one fatal burning touch, the shadowy winged creature can kill. Read Death's Dark Angel. Beautiful picture, her fairy tale sirens. Here we're going to the, you know, all the letters. People did write some letters, and, you know, a Vampirella, even though she wasn't real, would answer it. And we're going to go right into our Vampirella story. Death's Dark Angel. This one does star Vampy. You know, she's on the case. She's been kidnapped. Everyone's looking for her. But, you know, she's Vampirella, and the magazine went over 100 issues, so of course she didn't die. But, you know, it fades away, and what's going to happen next time? You know, we got to wait till the next issue. But then we're going to go right into Amazonia in the Eyes of Azarios, which is a more of a medieval type horror story. Once again, hair covers the boobies. The Quest. This one's actually written like, you know, an old school novel with the pictures and you got to read as opposed to a comic. Scale model kits. Man, I'm going to tell you what, not to show my age, but I collected a lot of these things. I had the Glow Frankenstein and I had the Glow Wolfman, but my painting job really stunk. You can't get Lost in Space. You can't get Archie's Car. That's the jalopy. Lazy writing. God, I wish it would be cool to just rebuy all this stuff. Have you been collecting your copies of Vampirella? If you haven't, you better get on the ball because wild and new things are happening around here. Another medieval story. Here's all the old paperbacks that they recommend. Ghost Stories, Space Stories, the original ads for them. Going here. Blah, 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 blah. And Vampirella number 13, The Silver Thief and the Pharaoh's Daughter. As always, Vampy Fairy Tale. Here come the letters. Now, for the first time, the Three Stooges are in 3D. Own your own monster fly. You're right when you write. I'm 23 years old and an SPS in the U.S. Army stationed in Vietnam. Some people think your mags are kid stuff, but over here you need something to escape into, and for me, your mag is it. Unfortunately, no Warren's publication of any kind seem to make it across the Pacific. At least I have never seen any, and I look every chance I get. I appreciate the realistic artwork, and yours is the best I found so far. Man, this dude wrote forever. And, you know, she answers him, and we got the photo, and blah, blah, blah. Vampirella, here we go. She's macking on our, the prologue. It always changed. The girl named Vampirella. You've killed my brother. I will let you kill my son. I'll destroy you. But he's having dreams because he thinks Vampirella's after his kid. Who knows? The lurker in the deep. Vampirella is pretty cool. Before we end today, I'll show you a really neat Vampirella thing I picked up that you can still get. Like I said, she's still handled by Dynamite Entertainment, has her now. A lot of incarnations of her. And we're done with this Vampirella story, and now begins the angry race between father and son. A race with perhaps the strangest prize of all, the life of the girl from Draculon. From Death's Dark Corner. Just a classic old school horror story. Those are the best, in my opinion. Now we're going to go into a story about the Pharaoh's daughter, the evil Pharaoh. As soon as I get further, the book starts to kind of bend. She has rings around her chest. The Frog Prince. Yeah, Frog Princes aren't always the best thing in the realm of horror. Vampy's Flames, Breaking the Bathtub. These are stories that people write. Here's The Eye of the Beholder. This is another one that takes place in the Sword and Sorcery times. Get your back issues of Vampirella. You could get #1, a back issue, for $2. It's going to run you in the grands nowadays. Now we're going to go into Vampy number 14. Fairy tale, letters, ads, Vampirella. Here we go. As you can see, Vampirella is on the case. You can't go wrong. This is the Huntress story. Vampirella, like I said, she's always opening it. They're always continuing, but she's always opening these stories now, which makes it really, really good. Going into a Sword of Light. More of the mythological again. Dead Man's Treasure. That's a good circus horror story. More Flames. The Wolf Hunt. I don't need to tell you what that's about. You should be able to figure it out. Just a gorgeous book. Wild Records. Look at all these records you can get, man. Superman. I had that record. Dinosaurs. War of the Worlds. I think I had The Invisible Man, too. Great 8mm monster movies. I still have some of mine, actually. Long playing record album. I know I had The Famous Monsters Speak. This is a Venus flytrap, the plant that actually eats insects and bites meats. Vampirella plastic hobby kits. Order yours today, and here's an ad for Dynamite telling you to buy these. The current run of Dynamite. This is Vampirella Archive Edition, Volume 2. Let's chat just a little more. Oh man, that was good. You got to get Volume 2. And check this out, which I finally managed to get. And the glare is kind of messing it up there. No, it's not a bag. This is one of Dynamite's Vampirella coins. There's a few of them. This was the one I need, one of the last ones I needed. So you get the little, you get your little card, which is nice. You get your little stand for your coin, and this even tells you this is your certificate of authenticity. I hate how everything's reversed in the camera, and it's a coin. With Vampirella. This one has her holding the skull, kind of very Shakespeare-esque. I have, this was the last one I needed to complete this set. And see, I can put it on my gimmick and display it because I'm a proud Vampirella owner. I have some Vampirella figures too. I'll have to bust them out. Statues. Sideshow did a beautiful piece. There is some really neat Vampirella merchandise out there. Entertainment Earth, I feel, is one of the best places to get it from, because when you order from them, you're not going to get anything messed up. They package their collectibles, and yes, as you can see, I do know about collectibles. They do package their stuff where it's not going to be dinged up or bent. It's going to be about as mint can get. Nothing's a perfect 10. Sorry, guys. Beautiful. I'm going to say 9.6 to 9.8. I'm going to put a link, actually, in the description if you want to head on down while you're watching this. After you watch it, before you watch it, I don't really care. Just go into the link. I'm going to put some of the new Vampirella stuff. Some of it might even be on sale. Definitely a place to go to check it out. That was Vampirella Archives Volume 2, covering the Warren years. There's plenty more. Don't worry. We're going to be back with Vampirella Archives Volume 3. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Like and subscribe. Share this with friends. Just take it easy and pick up Vampirella.